Let us try to solve the exercise number 7 in the part B of BSc Web Technology lab. In this exercise, we are supposed to write a servlet program to authenticate the login form. They are given a simple login form with the name and password and a login button. And when if the login is successful, you will say that welcome to the user. And if the login is not proper or username is and password are not matching, then they are going to say that username or password error. Let me go ahead with the NetBeans, and I'm going to go and click on the file and new project. And I'm going to select the web application as my project. I'm going to click next, and in this I'm going to type the name as authentication as the project name. You can give any other name to your project, and let it be glassfish. If you want the tomcat, you can select the tomcat, but it's not going to make any difference in the execution of the program. And I'm not going to select any framework, and I'm going to click finish. The NetBeans is going to create a file for me, and this particular project, where is the authentication of it? So this is the authentication project that I have. And in this project, that is the name I have given. It has already created a index.html, and this is the file that it is trying to show. So let me go ahead and create this part first, and I'm going to use the table for achieving this result. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to give a name as login form, even though it is not mentioned there, but the was already there. So I'm going to go and create a table, and this table has one row. So let me use tr for the row, and the first column td. What is this td? Is this one, that is the name here. I'm going to use this name in the first column. So this will be the name as is given there, and the next one is next column. What I have here is a text box. Where is this? Sorry, where is this one? That's a text box. Okay, so let me put a text box there, and I'm going to say input. Type is text. I'm going to give the name as name itself. This is the variable name. Suppose if you didn't get that, what we mean by saying that is when you say int x, x is the variable name. So if you say int x, x is the variable name. Similarly, this particular name that I have given here is the variable name. So I'm going to refer that variable as name itself. You can take it as a username if you don't like it, a uname. That is a variable, but I'm going to just take it as a name, but that will be easier, I suppose. So you have finished the first row with the two columns, and I feel that you can also add the third column here, because if you notice that there is extra space over here. So in order to just simulate that, I'm going to put one more column there, td, and I'm going to use a non-breakable space there because I just want some space here. This is a dirty way of getting the things done, but I'm going to use NBSP there. So that is non-breakable space. NB, where is this NBSP on? Okay. So this is going to create one extra space there. So if you look at this one, so there is you're going to create an extra space there. Okay, whether that's required or not, it's a different story, but this is not required to me. Let me go ahead, and I want to click on the other part there. Okay, so next let's go to the next row here, and I'm going to just take this tr. From tr to tr, I'm going to take this part from tr to tr, this part. Control C to copy it, and then I'm going to press enter after tr. Control V to paste. So I got the name again repeated, but this time it is password. So I'm going to just change it as password, and the type of it is not text. type of it is also password. You can use control space. That means we'll do the needful thing for you. And the variable name is also password. I'm going to just use the same name. Let me go to the next one. And I think there was an error. That NBSP, let me correct that NBSP story. Okay. Let me copy it one more time and then paste it. So this time I don't want anything in the first column. If you notice over here, there is nothing is there in the first column. There is nothing is there in the first column. There is nothing is there in the last column, but there is something in the middle, and that is the button. So let me go ahead, and the input type is, I'm going to take it as submit, and the variable name is SPT button. You can take anything of this type. Now the whole thing has to be put inside a form, because I want to send this whole thing, even though if you see like this, nothing is going to happen. So I'm going to put that whole table inside a form. How do I do that thing is I go before the table and I'm going to say form. Okay, done. And I'm going to go to the last part. I'm not going to press enter here. I'm going to just type that thing, and after the table, I'm going to put the slash form. So this form and form, you can just go here and format it so that it looks nice. So this form and form, that whole table, if I click on this thing, the whole table is inside this form and form. Okay, so you have this table inside it. Now where will it go? So let me put the method. So I'm going to use the post method for the form. And what is the action? So this is required action. It's going to go to a servlet. So let me create a servlet and let me perform the next part in the servlet. So I'm going to go over here, and you must remember a few things here, and that few things are when you are this project okay, when you are creating your project, your JSP or HTML will come in this section, your Java part will come in this section. So you must remember that particular thing. So I'm going to click on this here. You notice that nothing is there. So in this source package, so I've clicked on that source package. Okay. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to the new, and Java, you see this servlet. You can directly get it from here. If it is not available, go to the others, and in the others, under the web, you are going to get the servlet. So I don't know why it is taking too much time. So under this web, you are going to see the servlet. Okay. So assume that you will see it here in this section. You are going to see it here. This is going to take terribly long time. So I'm going to just right click and say new servlet. Okay. This is where you are going to reach, even in that case also. And I'm going to give the name of this servlet as do login. Any name you can give, but always don't forget to give the package name. I'm going to use the package name com, because this is the short form for component. Okay, you can give any other package name, it's up to you. Let me click next, and there is nothing much to be done with this one. Click next, and if you want, you put it in the deployment descriptor, and then click finish. So your servlet will be created. This is how your servlet will look like. You have the do login. So when I click on this index.html, suppose if you have closed this index.html, go to the projects and double click on this icon, not the text. If you double click on the text, it means you want to rename it. Double click on the icon and you are going to get it. Suppose if you don't get this project itself, go to the window and you get this project here. This is what the project will look like. Okay, anyhow. So let me go to the index.html. I have left something blank here, and that what is that thing I've left blank here is this action. So I'm going to just copy this class name. What is the name of this class? Remember, this is case sensitive. It is Java, and you know very well Java is case sensitive. So it is better you copy Control C from here, and then just go to the index.html, and in the index.html action is Control V. So this is case sensitive, so you must be extremely careful what you're typing here. So save it. So when I submit this button, sorry, this is not something, okay, it is going to look like this at the end. So let me run it and just show you. Otherwise, Bing will show you the default pages. That is not really required. So this is how it's going to look like. Now this your form, it is supposed to look like this, but it is looking like this. But anyhow, when you click on this username and when you click on this submit, I think that word submit is not there. What is the name that they have given is login. Let me correct that word first. This is not submit. This is login. What is that they have said? This is the name that they said login. So I'm going to just correction over there. So that is login. Okay. What is the problem with this one? So type is submit. Sorry, I have not given the value for this. Value is login. What is this login? So value is login. This is type is submit definitely, and value is login. I have not given that value there. So that's why it's just I'm going to just refresh it, and you see that this is login. So this is how it's going to look like. You have this login button, and when you click on this login button, it's going to take you to this servlet. That is what you said. When you click on this login, you just take it to the do login. And in the do login, we are supposed to authenticate the user. I'm going to use a database to store the username and password. So for that, I'm going to go to the services over here. And again, if this service is not visible, go to the window and you have services here. So go to the services, and in the services, you have databases. Click on the plus sign in front of it. And when you click on this plus sign, it's going to open up, and you have this java.db. Right click if it is not started, start the server. In my case, the server is already started. Then I can only stop the server, but I don't want to stop the server. I want to create a database. So I'm going to create a database by selecting, right clicking on this JavaDB. If you have a connection to the MySQL server, use the same thing. The procedure is one and the same. Right click and start the server. In this case, start this MySQL. I'm going to start the JavaDB, that is the Derby database, and I'm going to just click on create database, and you're going to get this kind of dialog box. In this dialog box, I'm going to give the name of the database. Okay, and what is the name I'm going to give is user info. Any name you can give. Username I'm going to use money, and password is ABCD 1 2 3 4, and same ABCD 1 2 3 4. Don't give your personal username and password here during the practical, because you're going to type those username and password somewhere. So let me click on OK, and the database Derby is going to create that particular database. It may take some time for it to create that. Once it is created, you notice that it's going to show you that there is a database called as user info, and you notice that it is not connected. You notice here it is not connected. So if you look at this place, what is this happening? Okay, if you notice here, it is not connected. Okay, I'm going to just right click and I'm going to say connect. Okay, for this database, I'm going to just right click and then connect. Now it is connected. You see that. Otherwise it shows you a broken icon. That's simple as that. If you click on the plus sign over here, you notice whoever user you have created, that username, and under this you have this tables view and procedure. You are familiar with the databases, and you know that there are views, procedures, and tables in the database, and that is what you have. But if you click on the plus sign of the table, you will notice that there is no table inside it. So just right click on it and then say create. So for the table, you just create the table. And this is how you're going to get the dialog box. Okay. So let me type the information, and I'm going to say login details, and I'm going to add the first column. I'm going to say username. I'm going to say username or user ID, whatever it is. I'm going to take it as a varchar. Size is 25. I'm going to make it as primary key. Now it's not really required because it's you're not going to add too many username after all. Let me click OK, and I'm going to click on add button one more time because I want the second column. So I'm going to say again password. I will type this full word password, and I'm going to take varchar. Now one important thing you must understand that never store the password as plain text. But for this demonstration I'm doing it only for demonstration purpose. Store the password as a plain text, otherwise use the hash and store the hash as the password. But that is for real life. But when you are doing a practical examination, that may not be so important, but you must remember that when you are creating the real project, not to save the password as a plain text, because if your database is compromised, you will lose all the control on the entire application. So let me click on finish to create this table, and you notice that you have the table called as login details, and there are two fields are there. One of them is the primary key, it indicates with the red color. So let me right click and say view the data, and you know very well there is no data inside it. So I'm going to just click on view data, and when you look at this view data, you notice that there is nothing is there. Okay, at the bottom side you notice that there is nothing is there, so no data is there. I'm going to directly add the values there. So you go and you use this option, okay, to add the records into the database. So I'm going to just click on it, and you have this username and password. So I'm going to type username money and password let's say 1234. Make M capital. Okay. It's up to you. Okay, M capital. Okay, this one record I've added. Okay, let me go here to this section, and you notice add row is there. Let me add one more row. Okay, and let me say Rashmi, and the password is en12. Let me say password is ABCD is the password. Let's assume that only two are enough, and I'm going to just click OK, and you notice that at this corner you notice that the username and password is added, and that's why I told you not to store the password as plain text, because if this table is viewed, you will lose the password of the user. Okay, so in any case, that is for real life. Let's not venture into that. So let's go to the do login. So what are the information that you are supplying to the do login? So you are supplying the username and password. This information is sent to the servlet, and you notice that what are the variable names that you have given. So let's recap what you have done here. The variable name is first name is name for the name, and the second name is the password. These two are the variable names. So I'm going to take those two variable. I'm going to read those two variable, and both of them you know very well are string. So let me go to the do login. That is my servlet. And if your servlet is not, if you close this servlet, go to your project. Under this source package, you get this do login. Double click on it, and you will reach to this place. And you have this process request method. Let me go right here. There's a do something over here. I'm going to remove that line from here, and then I'm going to just type the thing. First of all, I'm going to get those two things. I'm going to say string, okay, uname. I'm going to just take it as a uname. Username is, how do I get it? I'm going to say request, okay, dot get parameter, okay, and the first name is name itself. This is a variable name that I'm using. What is this name? If you're wondering, what is this name? Name is that variable name that I have used here. So I used the variable name here. I'm going to use it. Similarly, I'm going to use the name password for the second one. So let me go to the do login here, and I'm going to just select it, Control C to copy it, and Control V to paste it. And second one is password. I'm going to say the pass. Okay, word WD. I'm going to just do pass WD, and this is variable name password. Okay, so this is the variable name that I have it here. So this is the password that I'm using, PASS word. That is the variable name that I have typed here. Where is this do login gone? Okay, so this is what you have. Now let's connect to the database. So for how do you connect it? So use a class dot for name, and you need the driver name. How do you get this driver name? To get the driver name, go to these services. Again, if the services are not visible, go to the window and you have these services here. So let's go to these services, and you must select your own table, not to select the other table which are there. This is your table, user info is your table. Right click on it and then go to its properties. And when you go to its properties, you will notice that it's going to give you the driver. So this is the name of the driver, this is the class. I want the driver class here, so go here to the driver class, and here you will notice right when you say this driver class here, on the other side you see three dots. Okay, you have to click on this three dots. So when you click on this three dots, you will get one more dialog box like this. Okay, select this thing, select the whole thing, Control C to copy it. Okay, close this and come back to your class here, just paste it over here. So you got the driver, just paste it within double quotes as it is. But you have to have, whenever you load a class, there may be exception that the class may not be existing. So the NetBeans is not happy, and it's going to give you a red squiggly line saying that there is an issue with this. So this is a typed exception and you have to handle it. If you see a bulb here, right, if you go right on the other side, you see a small bulb there. Okay, so just click on that bulb, and the NetBeans will say that do you want to add this class not found exception? I don't want to add it, because if you notice that there is this try method is there, it's already there, try, but there is no catch is here. So I'm going to just add a catch clause there, because already try is already there. So I'm going to say click on this bulb, and I'm going to say add that catch clause. So when I click on this add catch clause, you notice that the NetBeans has added a catch clause here. Okay, so that is a catch for class not found. Okay, that is done automatically by the NetBeans. What's the next thing is you need a connection. So I'm going to say connection, and I will press Control space. So you write this connection, and it's going to say that are you talking about an interface in the java.sql? So there are many interfaces in many different packages, but I want it in the java.sql. This is the one that I wanted. So I'm going to just press enter. The minute you press enter, NetBeans has already added a import statement java.sql.connection. So it is done for you freely by the NetBeans. So how do I get this connection? I'm going to go to this driver manager. So I'm going to say driver manager. And what is this driver manager? If you're wondering what is this driver manager is imported from java.sql.driver manager. This is automatically done. How did I do that thing? So when I start typing driver manager, I just press Control and space. So this is a shortcut. You just press CTRL plus space. That is spacebar, and the NetBeans will complete that thing. So you say driver manager and the connection, and then say get connection, and I'm going to use the third option. There are three overrides are there. The third option says your URL, username and password. So I'm going to use this one and select it, the third option, and then press enter. So I don't know the connection, I will get that connection, but I know definitely what is the username. I gave the username as money, and the password is abcd1234. This is the password that I have used for connecting to the database. So when I created the database, I gave a password, with the username money, and the password is abcd1234. Only problem with this is where is the connection URL. How do you get the connection URL? Again, go to these services here. Go to the services again. Service is not visible. Go to the window and then select services. And you get this services. This is the connection to the database. Right click on it. Go to the properties. You get the same dialog box, and in this dialog box you have the database URL. This is the connection that you are supposed to use it. Again, click on this ellipsis, and you have this dialog box. Select it. Control C to copy it. Close it, close it, come back here, click in the middle of the two double quotes, paste it, and that is the connection to the database. Only thing is you need to have an exception because you are connecting to the database, so it's a typed exception. Click on this bulb on the right hand side and on your left hand side, I suppose. Then add this clause, that is SQL exception. You know very well, when you try to connect to a database, you may get a SQL exception. So let's click on this and say add catch clause, because I want to add it to the catch clause. If you notice over here, it has already added one more catch clause here, that is SQL exception. So it has added one more catch clause and it is logging that information. So that's it. You have the connection with you. Let me create a statement. So I'm going to say statement, and I'm going to press Control Space, and the NetBeans is going to say which statement. Again, I want it from the SQL java.sql because we are dealing with the SQL statement. So I'm going to select this and press enter. What the NetBeans has done for me, NetBeans has imported java.sql.sql for me. So this is the statement, and I'm going to say stmt. So how do you get this statement? So connection dot create statement. Okay. If you want, you can create a statement there. So you created a statement from there. You need a SQL statement there. So I'm going to use a string SQL. I'm going to just create a string there. For my SQL, you need to run a SQL command. So what is the command that I'm going to run? Okay, the command that I'm going to run is going to be a very simple one. I'm going to count how many records are there. Okay, so I'm going to just do that thing. I will go to this SQL part again. If you have closed this one, go here to the services. If you have closed it, that's all. If you're not closed it, well and good. If you closed it, go to services, go to the database, here to the table, right click and say view data. Okay, this is the place where you're going to reach to. And I'm going to just change the SQL statement. I'm going to say count star. What is this? Count star from the table, and I'm going to say where if you want to, again, if you want, this is it is not case sensitive, but maybe I don't know. I will just make it as capital. It's not case sensitive. SQL is not case sensitive. In a, where you name, let's say you name. Okay, if you control space it will say you name equal to money, and okay, password. I'm going to just type pass and control space password equal to. I'm using this one. Okay, I'm using this pattern where the username is money and password is equal to 1234. So, and password, where is this password gone? Password equal to 1234. Okay, this is the password. This is the information that is stored. I am counting. Okay, if you select this one and if you run it here, you notice there is an option to run this query. So if you run this particular query here, you get the count as 1. Okay, that's true. There is only one record is there. That is what I'm going to do. If the username and password is matching, you are going to get it. Suppose if the username and password is not matching, if the password is something else, and if you run it, you get the you select it, they select the whole thing, and if you run this thing, there is an error. Okay, where username is how did it is giving you this is the answer is here, sorry, answer is here, not this one, answer is here, this is 0. Okay, so if I write abcd 1 2 3 4 and just what is this 1 2 3 4, and then if I run it, you get the answer. Where is the what was the username? Let me just look at here. What is abcd 1 2 3 4? Is this correct? So username is money. Oh, sorry. It is always 0 because it is true, because this one was in capital. Okay, if you look at here, I have the fortunately the username, actual username was M was in capital. Okay, so that's why every time it was giving me 0 0 0. So now let me try this time. When I run it, I must get, this is the answer. Look at this, and this is the answer. The answer is there here in the first column. This is 1 because username and password is matching, and already you have tested that thing. If the username and password is not matching, if the username is not there, you can say Suresh. If the user is Suresh is not there in this list, I have only Rashmi and Mani. So if I run it, you notice right here, count is very here, that this is 0. Okay, so the answer is found somewhere else. So this is what you are going to do it. You are going to just count and check whether the count is 1. So suppose if the count is 1, that means the record exists. So this username money with the password 123 exists. That is why you see that it has written the value 1. Otherwise it is 0. So I'm going to just type this one. I'm going to select this one, whole thing, without the semicolon. Semicolon is not required for me. So Control C, and I'm going to go back to my servlet here. So I'm going to click on do login, and I'm going to click in the middle. So I'm in the Java now. I'm going to just paste it. Only one difference that you must do now, or one correction you must do here is it is not always money. It is not always money. Then what is it? So instead of money, you have to use the username. This is the one that you must from where did you get this username? Username you got it because from here, you whatever you are typing here, this is the username and password, and that is what I'm getting it. I'm getting this name and I'm storing it in the variable username, and getting the password, I'm storing it in the variable password. So I'm going to use this username here, and definitely I'm going to use the password for the other one. So how do you do that particular thing? So it is very easy. So this username must be replaced with the uname, which is the variable name. Remember, you have to get if you just type uname here, it is going to be part of the string. You have to break this string. How do you do that thing? So it's a very simple trick. So this is the where, remember, you have this single quote in the beginning and the end. It should be there. So just double click on this word. Just double click. Don't do anything. Press double quotes 2 times. Don't delete. Don't do anything. Just double click on it. Then type 2 times double quotes. Done. So type 2 times double quotes. Use the back arrow on your keyboard, not the backspace. The arrow keys, back arrow, come in the middle. Type plus sign 2 times. Okay, so this is how you're doing it. Again, use the back arrow, that is the left arrow, and get in the middle. And then type UN and control space. That means we'll say, is it username? And that's it. That means has done the work for you. So you have this username getting created over here. It done. Let me do the same thing for the password. How do I do it for the password? See, this is where the password is there. Double click on this one. It's going to select 1 2 3 4 2 times double quotes. Use the left arrow, come in the middle, 2 times plus sign. use the left arrow, come in the middle, type PAS and just control space. NetBeans will fill the word password for you because that's the two variables which are there. So this variable, it's going to fill it. That's it. You got the SQL statement with you, username and password. That being done, so you have the username is equal to uname and password is equal to pass. That is being done. Let's go ahead and let's get the run this thing. And you know very well, when you run this, you are going to get the result set. I'm going to say result set. Again, result set is an interface in the java.sql. So I write half of it, result set, and press enter, and I press control and space first to get this help. You know very well, always press control space to get the help, and select the result set java.sql. So this is very important. You select this java.sql, and let me press control space again, press enter. What NetBeans has done is it has imported java.sql.result set. So it has done it for me. I'm going to take the variable name as rs, and what are we going to do? So we go to the statement stmt, the statement just now I've created. So here you have this statement. I go to the statement stmt, and I'm going to say execute this query. And what is the query? Query is there in the string. I've just created this query and I've stored this query in the SQL, and that is what it is saying, that SQL, the query is there in the thing. And you know very well, you must go to the next. This is the one mistake that most of the students are doing. They don't get this next. Remember, when you get the result set, when you get this result set, the pointer is actually outside that result set. You have to use rs.next, then only it will start pointing to the first record. Otherwise it will not point to the first record. So rs.next, this is required. Okay, that's being done. So you got in the result set, you have the result set. You are going to the first record of the result set. Read it and then check what is the answer. Remember, if your username and password is correct, if the username and password is correct, you must get the value as 1. It is in the first column there. So let's go ahead and let's get that thing. See, if you look at what the NetBeans has done is it has already added a boilerplate code for HTML, and somewhere here in the body part, you notice that it has done an advertising saying that this is Servlet, do login and so on and so forth. So I'm going to delete that line. It's not required for me. Okay, so I'm going to just keep this body and slash body. So here is a place where you are going to type the remaining part. So I'm going to say if result set is already there, that is rs dot, and you know very well it is an integer number 1 or 0. So I'm going to say get integer, okay, and the column index is 1. So what is that I have written here is let me tell you what is that I have written here. So I am saying that if this value in the column 1, if it is equal to 1, then you do something. Remember, this is the column number. This is 1 here, not 0. So the students are making a mistake that they type, where is it? They type this one, index has 0. It's not 0, it is 1. If this is equal to 1, if this value, whatever you are getting, if this, what is this thing? If this value, where is it gone? Okay, let me try one more time. If this value is equal to 1, this is what I am saying. If this value is equal to 1, so you go to the result set. So you have this result set with you. So you have this result set with you with all the tables here. So you are going to say if this value, get the integer value of this, whatever value which is stored in the result set, get the integer value of it. If this is equal to 1, okay, the value stored here is equal to 1, that means you know very well username and password is matching. So you notice that the username and password is matching. That is why you are getting 1. Otherwise, username and password is not matching. As simple as that. So if this is equal to 1, you are going to say that user exists, or you are going to say user does not exist, whatever that they have said. Now I'm not going to write my own statement here. So how do you get the output? You say out.println, and you are going to say something here. Okay, what is that you are going to say? Is according to them welcome username. So this is what you're going to say. So you are going to say welcome. Again, I'm going to use a slight trick here because I want it to come with neat. So I'm going to use h4 tag here. This is the HTML tag, and then I'm going to say welcome. What is the name? Name is uname. So what is this uname? Uname is the name that you are typing here. This name, whatever name you have typed here, where is it? Just give me a second. Okay, whatever name you have typed here, that is the name that you are going to use it here. Plus, remember you started this H4, you have to close that H4. Okay. You started this H4 and you need to close this H4. That is the username. Okay. What is the else part? So else, we go here, and I'm going to just copy this because it's already there. And just copy this one. What is the other word that they have given? See, look at this thing. It is coming. Username and password error. So I'm going to just type that thing, username and password error. In the H4, I'm going to just type it here. Directly, I'm going to say type it here. Username or password error. Let me recheck that thing. Username or password error. So that is it. Username is a single word they've said. Username or password error. So whatever they have said, I'm going to use that thing. Username and password error. Okay, that's it. This is what you're supposed to do it. So let's go ahead. Right click and run it if at all you want it. Run this HTML page, not the servlet. Don't run the servlet. Run the HTML page. Go to the HTML page, and again, if it's not visible, go to the project, double click on it, and then get the HTML page. Right click, run the file, and you can run the entire project also. You get this one. Username is money, not this money, and password is 1234. This is what I've typed. Press enter and welcome money. And username is money, and password I'm typing it. Assume that Q something I've typed, and then username password error. Now only thing is this part is in color. Let's get that color. Okay, I'm going to use the style sheet for that. You can type it here itself, but I'm going to use the style sheet. I think I'm not sure whether it is there or not. If you want to make it style, if you want to style this table, you can go here. Remember, styles has to be put in the head section, not in the body section. You have to put the style in the head section. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to say style and slash style. Okay, I'm going to style this table. So I'm going to just say table, that is the name of it, table, and open and close flower bracket. Okay, I don't know whether that style, I'm not sure about your syllabus, but if it's there, well and good. If it's not there, learn it. It is required. Okay, so I'm going to first say background. You don't have to remember this one. You just type background and then press enter. I think it was light pink. The color is LIGHT pink. Okay, I assume that that's a color. Just save it and let me go back and just refresh it. That's light pink. Okay, that's it. I'm going to get it at the center. How do you get it at the center? So to get it at the center, you have a left margin, left, okay, not left margin, margin left, make it as auto. You don't need to uh, type this whole thing, and margin right auto. Just make it both of them are auto. Again, you don't need to type it. NetBeans will help you with that. Yeah. If you refresh it, it's going to come at the middle. Okay. If you notice that there is extra spacing here in between, that is done using padding. So you just go here and just say padding. Okay, I'm going to say 5 pixel. It's done it, and you see padding is 9. Okay, done. If you want to get it at the bottom, I think at the center it is much easier to get the dev at the center. You can directly go to the dev here and then say align. If you align, where is this one? Align center. That is much faster, I suppose. And you get this login form right at the center. So what I've done is div align center. That's it. Okay, and some CSS for the background, left margin, right margin, and padding. So let me try with the other person. What was the other person? Rashmi with the ABCD as the password. So I'm going to try that RASHMI with the password ABCD. Login, and it must say okay, welcome Rashmi. And if the Rashmi instead of Rashmi you have Lakshmi, Lakshmi. Okay. What is this? Lakshmi with any password, because it's not there, username and password. So this is what you're going to get it, and that's all, I suppose. That is what is there for you. And what else? That's all in this one. Thank you.